So I really think it's a red flag if you don't enjoy or you won't enjoy the process of the thing you're striving after. I really think it's a red flag. Something to really take note of and genuinely ask yourself, yeah, I said I want this thing, but do I really? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching this. My name is Mulimo Muso, and I welcome you to another episode of Thrive. Thrive is a show that is dedicated to helping you be the best you that you allow yourself to be. It's all about you, baby. So, today we're going to talk about something that really means a lot to me, something that has shaped me in so many ways. And as you can see in the title, we are going to be discussing 4 reasons why it's very important for us to embark on a journey of self-discovery, why it's important for us to get to know ourselves. For those of you who know my story, for those of you who don't know my story, I have a history with mental health challenges, and for the longest time I faced depression and I wanted to off myself. I was just going through a lot. However, I can truly say getting to know myself is perhaps the greatest contributor to me being the way that I am today. Today, I am in a greater position than I could have ever imagined, emotionally, mentally. I could never imagine that I would ever be this way. And I remember I was talking to my cousin sometime last year and just saying, I'm happy. I'm just genuinely happy. Even when I go through the emotions, I'm happy. I know what it is to be happy. I never thought this would be my reality. And this is something I can genuinely, honestly attribute to the fact that I got to know myself. And so I want to speak about that. I want to speak on 4 reasons why I think it's important for us to all embark on a journey of self-discovery. And the thing is, with the journey of self-discovery, it's not a destination journey. There is no destination. You never get to a point where you're like, I've arrived. It's going to be something that, because you're going to get new experiences are going to shape you in different ways. And so you're going to continuously be getting to know yourself. But at the end of it all, you will always want to be in a position where you are truly in tune with yourself because of the reasons that I'm going to get into. And the first one is authenticity. You become authentic with yourself. You become true to who you are. You become real with yourself. You find that, especially now in a time when there are so many social pressures, be it from friends, social media, our own family sometimes will pressurize us into different things, into doing certain things, into making certain decisions. You getting to know yourself, what's going to happen is you'll become more authentic, and in being more authentic, you will begin to identify things that are true to you, things that truly make you happy, things that truly are meaningful to you. You get to understand your values, things that you truly cherish. You get to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and figure out how to navigate life with all of those. And so you find that the decisions you make, for example, a lot of us make decisions on, say, goals, right? Sometimes we set goals that aren't really true to us, but are because of the reasons I stated. It could be social pressures from family, from friends, from social media, or whatever. However, when you get to know yourself, you will get to a position where you will make decisions on things like goals, or even just doing things. You will decide to or not to do certain things, irrespective of whether or not they're popular, because you find that the popularity of something is the reason that a lot of us do certain things. For example, groove. Groove is so exhausting, guys. But especially when you don't know yourself, you find that something like groove will always you'll always be drawn in to go and groove, for example. And even when you don't have the energy to do it, or you really just don't want to do it. The number of times that we'd have conversations around things like, yo, but guys, are we really doing this again? Are we really going out again? Or we'd be like, guys, we should really try to do something different. This thing of grooving every week is not it. And then we still groove over and over. It's because like we've confused the excitement of it with like genuine happiness, some of us. And so when you get to know yourself, you get to discover things, activities that really resonate with your heart. You get to discover things that really make your heart sing, things that really excite you. But also you get to really get to a point where you're like, no, but this thing is really not, it doesn't have that thing for me, the way that perhaps I make it seem like it does. And sometimes you find that you're already hooked like into the lifestyle and whatever. And so to get out of that, you're gonna have to sit down with yourself and really have that conversation with yourself, like, yo, this thing is really not for me. And so yeah, that's what I mean. Like you become authentic to who you are, and you start making decisions, even on say like goals, like the things you strive after. Maybe you've thought, like, there's a video I was watching, and this guy was speaking about how sometimes it's not a case of there's something you want and there's something you don't want, so you should always choose to do the things that you want to do. Sometimes you find that there is something you want and then there's something that you really want. And so you find that, for example, an example that he gave is like how maybe you want to be a millionaire, right? But then in order to be a millionaire, you're going to have to sacrifice something that is more meaningful to you, something that you value even more, which could be, for example, being a very present parent, right? So when you get to know yourself, you will get to a point where you realize that, no, the truth is, if I'm being authentic with myself, yes, I want to be a millionaire, but truly, I would rather be a really present parent more than I would want to be a millionaire, right? So it's like, it goes back to what I've been saying in the past 2 Thrive episodes, where I was like, you want to know what it is that you're willing to suffer for, right? Because, I mean, not everything is going to be great, not everything is going to be rosy, but there are things that really deep down you're willing to suffer for this thing. And sometimes we set goals that, because we're not authentic to ourselves, we don't even realize that these goals that we're setting are not, like, the process of achieving this goal is not one that I'm really willing to suffer for. So I really think it's a red flag if you don't enjoy, or you won't enjoy, the process of the thing you're striving after. I really think it's a red flag, something to really take note of and genuinely ask yourself, I said I want this thing, but do I really? And yeah, so the first reason that it's really important for us to get to know ourselves is that we really get to be authentic with ourselves and really become true to ourselves. And so the decisions we make, they are truly in line with who we are. That's number one. Number two is the relationships that we form. And the first relationship, I said this last week in last week's video, I said the one person that is it last week or the week before? But I think it's last week. The one person that you're going to be with more than anyone is yourself. The one person with whom you need to form a great relationship with, therefore, is yourself. And so the first relationship that is really going to improve, and when I say getting to know yourself will improve your relationships, the quality of your relationships is gonna step up really, like it's really gonna step up, because like I'm saying, the first relationship is with yourself. You're getting to know yourself. And so by getting to know yourself, you're discovering, just as with another person, if you have another person come into your life, you get to know what they like, what they don't like. And so you start to conduct yourself in ways that will, because you love this person, make this person happy. Now, this person is it's not another person, it's you now. So the first relationship that really begins to improve is your relationship with yourself. You find that a lot of us don't even like being with ourselves, like we don't enjoy our own company. This was certainly true for me. Like, I didn't like my own company, I didn't like being alone, I didn't like the things that were going on up in here. But then as I got to know myself, I got to really discover, yes, my strengths, my weaknesses, the things I like, the things I don't like. And so, as I said in the first point, the decisions you start to make are going to be decisions that will truly be for you, right? And so with that, you find that because you're choosing you, you know how we like saying choose you, put you first. as you continue to put you first, you find that the relationship you have with yourself improves to a point where you really love being, like, you really love your own company. And there's this saying I love saying is before I go out sometimes, like with anybody, I really ask myself, like, is this, it's not like I sit and I ask myself, but really at the root of it, that's the question I'm asking myself is this person or this group of people, are they an improvement on my own company? Because I enjoy my own company. And that's another thing that happens when you get to know yourself. I mean, yes, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and I'll get into that in future videos. And yes, it's not always easy. Again, I'll get into that in future videos. But as you get to know yourself, you form such a beautiful and strong relationship with yourself because you begin to understand yourself. You begin to understand how you operate, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And so with that, you find that your relationship with yourself improves. And in turn, your relationships with other people are also going to improve because you are going to know what you want out of a relationship with a person. It can be dating, it can be friendship, even relationships like family relationships. You begin to know what it is you want out of the relationships in your life. And so you will begin to make decisions, again, that are in line with what is truly within your heart and your soul with regards to the relationships in your life. And so you'll find that a lot of relationships will probably fall away because people are used to a certain thing, people are accustomed to you being a certain way, and not everybody's going to be receptive of you becoming yourself, because you becoming yourself is going to come with changes, and these are not always changes that they're willing to accept. And so you find that not every relationship is going to stay when you get to know yourself. And yes, it's challenging, yes, it's hard, but you're willing to make that decision because you're like, you know what, I am choosing me. I'm choosing me, and I'm choosing my peace, my joy, and my happiness. And if me choosing my peace, joy, and happiness is going to be at the sacrifice of you being a part of my life, yes, not every relationship can just be removed like that, but it's going to be at the sacrifice of you being a part of my life. Sad as it might make me, it's a decision I'm willing to make. And this is a decision you will know you're willing to make because what? You know yourself, right? And so relationships begin to, fall away, but also even the relationships you start to form are also going to be they're really going to be quality relationships because what? You will only allow people into your life and into your space who bring the energy that you want to receive. And also, the energy you're willing to give. And so because of that, you will find the people with whom you have the symbiotic relationship that really works for the both of you. And so that is what I mean when I say the second thing that really begins to really flourish in your life when you get to know yourself and the second reason you want to know yourself is because of the relationships that you're going to form. And then the third one, and this is obviously a big one because of, like, as I said in the beginning, the things that I've been through, is your emotions. Your emotions will improve significantly. And the reason that happens is as you get to know yourself, obviously, again, because you're making all these decisions for yourself, because you're getting to know yourself in these many different ways, because you're learning to mitigate, say, the negative aspects of who you are and the type of person you are, you improve on them, or you mitigate their effects on your life and all of that, you find that the quality of your life is generally improving. And in turn, even your emotions begin to improve. But not only that, part of the self-discovery journey, part of getting to know yourself is self-awareness. And I know Gary Vee speaks a lot about this, and a lot of other people speak about the importance of self-awareness. So with self-awareness is like you will know why, perhaps, like you will know that, okay, I am lazy, for example, and you'll be real with that. You're authentic with yourself, so you know that, okay, I'm lazy. But the thing about knowing yourself, this self-discovery journey, is you don't only know, you're not only aware of what's going on, right? You're not only more aware of what's going on, you're even aware of the reason that things are the way that they are. You begin to understand why you behave in certain ways, because what? As you get to know yourself, you're discovering things like how certain situations affect you, perhaps because certain things happened to you when you were a child. Like a huge thing that will come up was most definitely your childhood traumas, childhood traumas and how they've affected you, how they've shaped who you are and all that. All of these things begin to surface, and it's not an easy journey. Don't get me wrong. It's not always pleasant, and I will get into that. But as this happens, as you get to know yourself and discover yourself, you find that your emotions are improving because now you're discovering why you have certain emotions, where they come from. And so instead of now just being mad and upset about the emotion itself, which is the fruit of what happened to you, you're able to deal with the root of the problem. You're able to deal with the problem from its very foundation, you know? And as I said, there's a continuous journey because you're continuously going to discover more and more things that, you know, and that's why I said it's never going to be a case of you've arrived. But that's another thing with self-discovery. Why self-discovery is so important is your emotions will significantly improve because you'll make decisions that are good for your emotions. And it's not like you'll always get it right. We always fumble once in a while. But the rate at which you're getting things right will continuously and perpetually be improving. And so you'll find that in general, the quality of your life is improving. The spaces that you get into, the people you become more in tune with your energies, for example. And on that note of in tune, we get to number 4. The fourth reason why I feel that it's important for us to all get to know ourselves and go on this journey of self-discovery is alignment, guys. There is nothing that is as beautiful as being aligned with yourself, aligned with the universe. You find that as you get to know yourself, you really get in line. You're aligned, you know? And when you're aligned, I don't want to say things get easy, but like being aligned is more simple. Let me put it that way. It's not easy, but it's more simple. You are not going against yourself, and getting to know yourself really aligns yourself. Like you really get aligned with who you are, and with all these decisions you're making, with everything that's happening in your life, with all these friendships, these relationships, with all this energy that you're beginning to attract into your life, you find that now even the universe begins to work with you, works in your favor. And I remember I was saying this on a live that I'm very grateful that I never achieved any of the goals I was going after before I got to know myself, because I think it would be a disaster for me to have achieved goals that are not true to who I am, that are not aligned with who I am. And so that's another thing, is I really hope for people to genuinely not achieve their goals if they're not aligned with who they are, the goals, right? We need more of us to really be aligned and in tune with ourselves, and to go after things that are really true to who we are, really true to what resonates with our hearts, with our soul. And so being aligned is one of the greatest and most beautiful things that happen when you get to know yourself. And things like, as I'm saying, like you will be going through the most, like you can be going through the most, but because you're aligned, right, it's something you're willing to go through. Not something you necessarily want for yourself, you know, but it's like you're willing to go through this thing, you know. It's that thing I was saying, like if you're gonna pick, say, a career, if you're gonna pick whatever you're gonna pick, whatever path you're gonna pick, is it something you're willing to suffer for, right? And so that is the fourth reason. And for me, it's like, I think it's one of the most beautiful ones, is a life lived in alignment. It's such a peaceful life, such a peaceful life. So yeah, guys, that's me. That is this episode of Thrive. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you gained something from this, but more than that, I really hope that a lot more of us, and you watching this, I really hope that you will really go after that thing of getting to know yourself. You know, I really hope that if there is a goal you're going to set this year, it will be to know yourself even more, to know yourself even better. And yeah, it's really beautiful. I don't know what more to say, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you found this valuable. If there's something you want to share, please go ahead and share it in the comment section. And I realize we're about to hit 300. Yeah, I was about to say 3,000. We're getting there. We'll get there. But yeah, I realize we're about to hit 300 subscribers. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed. It really means a lot. Thank you so much to the people who engage with my videos. That also means a lot. And yeah, if you have something to say, please comment down below. Click that like button, and please guys, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you so much. I really hope you found some valuable content from wherever you are. Good morning, good evening, and good night to you. Peace.